Japanese culture. Now, Japanese culture has always intrigued me ever since I learned about the work culture specifically and how that whole system works and when compared to American culture and their work system. So today I've gathered about a decent amount of information comparing American culture and Japanese culture in two different ways: societal norms and, of course, work culture. Let's get to it. Now, Japanese work culture, as I said before, is the main reason why I even wanted to talk about Japanese culture. The Japanese work culture can be described as a high context, high power distance collectivism society with a preference for silence rather than non-stop talking. Of course, there's some variations to the rules. For example, Japanese YouTubers don't really feel that high power system or whatever. They're basically working for themselves, and they won't ever feel the stress/heat that an average Japanese salaryman feels just about every day. So to start, I am going to go over some examples provided by JapanInfo.com. One of the first instances / pieces of information about the Japanese work culture from JapanInfo.com would have to be the overworking of Japanese employees. So they work over 9 hours just about every day, and a lot of them use overtime, and they barely get paid for it. This is all due to the high power system setup they got up. They have. Basically, they take this overtime to not get more money, but to show, I have to, show respect to the seniors. Like, look how good I'm doing. It's not because I need more money, it's because I need more respect. That's the whole basically thing with the Japanese culture, respect. Respect is crazy in Japan, especially with their seniors. For example, the Japanese work model follows something called Ho-Ren-So, which is a system that most Japanese businesses use where employees must inform the superiors of their every move. Yes, every move from small to big. It's just crazy, and for especially in Japanese work culture. They also don't like talking a lot. So like most Americans, they talk during with employees. But in Japan, they're very quiet. It's very just clickety, clackety, click, clack. That's all you hear in the offices during that time. And that can also go into their societal norms. As I said, Japan isn't really a talkative country, so they found other ways to express emotions. That would have to go into their bowing. Now, for example, Japan is well known for using bowing as a form of respect or religion, but did you know that Japan has 3 different types of bowing, each with different meanings and angles? Yes, angles. Those 3 examples are Ashuka, Kiri, and Sekiri. Kiri is a bow at 30 degrees that is supposed to show respect to your superiors. Sekiri is a bow at 45 degrees that is supposed to represent deep regret. And Ashuka is a 15-degree bow used as a greeting. Now, they even have manners and rules for chopsticks. Basically, you can't dig around your ramen and looking for a specific piece of meat. You have to eat everything. You can't just dig it. You just have to eat. And you can't just, shovel it down. That's seen as rude. And you can't even tip at all. Because, it's just seen as rude and unnecessary to tip someone for doing their job. Which just clashes with American culture. Let's get to that. The American work culture is a low-context, individual, and high-power distance competitive system that is more tuned to be talkative rather than being silent. The American work culture is freer when compared to other countries, more specifically Japan because of the whole thing. There's not really a hierarchy in America. Of course, there's people with, higher positions, but, there's not really like a societal pressure to be like, yes, sir, yes, sir. It's like, yep, got it. They're much more normal with their conversations as a normal human being rather than showing respect. In America is much more about the individual rather than the group. In Japan, they're much more, we got to work together, we got to go places together, while America is much more, I got to get this done for myself, I want to take this time off for myself, I'm going to get this money for myself. We're much more individual. We want to see ourselves grow rather than the company we would work for grow. And Americans are just much more blunt with the words and meanings and opinions rather than Japan, where they try to be nice and not as mean as an average American. And American societal norms, more specifically food. Now, American societal norms are something unique, more specifically in the terms of equality. Over the past couple years/decades, society in America has included groups that were usually left out in the conversation: women's rights, gay rights, etc. America is truly unique when it comes to the ever-changing norms in society. When it comes to everything else, for example, food, as I said in Japan, they're very formal with their food. They're very neat. They don't, chow down and leave a mess. America, we're all about a mess, all right? We'll eat ribs, get our hands dirty with that sauce, wings, burgers, you name it. It's going to be all over the place, right? Tips, we tip a lot, right? That's basically part of our system. It's not like a law or anything, but it's just, again, a societal norm where it's like, okay, these people barely get paid minimum wage, so we got to tip them. And a lot of people actually live off tips, like my mother used to. And again, like I said, we're more in your face, we're like, this food is terrible, this is garbage, this is shit, it's horrible. Rather than Japan, they just really won't say anything. And that's about it. The differences between Japan and America, at least in this speech, are Japan's more formal, America's more brash. And personally, I really like the American culture more because I grew up with it. I find it more freeing to be able to actually speak your opinion and not have to respect every single older person in your vicinity. But I hope you have learned something about the Japanese culture and American culture today. And I hope you actually found this intriguing and want to learn more about it. That's all I hope. Stay safe, and thank you. Please don't be 7.